today we're going to do a very, very exciting little get ready with me. We're going to randomize all of the makeup that goes on my face. So I have spent some time putting it all into tiny decisions this morning. I have not done lip products. We'll figure out what we do with lip products. I just did not have time to add like 60 lip products to tiny decisions today. So we are going to randomize everything, even down to the eyeshadow palette. When we pick our eyeshadow palette, we will randomize 5 to 6 different shades. So yeah, it's going to be a full face bingo style video. So if you want to see what happens at the end, obviously keep watching. So we're going to go into primers and we're going to see what we get. This shouldn't be too bad because I, for the most part, like all my primers. Okay, so we are going to go for the Embryolos. So, okay, this is probably the one primer in my collection that I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the Swan Blush Depot. And I don't know what I'm doing with this, but we're going to go into it. It is Apricot Glow, and it's a Radiant Complexion Cream, which actually, maybe I need that. It comes out looking like this. It looks kind of creepy and scary, but it doesn't stay this color. It's just a little blush of color. So yeah, we'll just use this. You know, already this is starting off a direction that I wouldn't have taken it, so maybe this will be fine. It has a little bit of a tint, but nothing that I can't handle. Obviously, it depends on what foundation we get, though, because for the most part, all the foundations work for me, but there is one that is just simply too dark, so we will figure that out when we get there. Okay, so lately I have actually been doing my eyes first, but that's only because then I know what to do with my face. Since we don't know what we're doing with our face anyway, let's do our face first because, yeah, this might be a little crazy. So I'm gonna go into foundation and then let's see which one we get. Please do not pick the Maybelline because that is the only one that I can't wear. Okay, Revolution Silk. I actually pulled this from my Shop My Stash. So that is this one. It is the Skin Silk. I like this one, so I don't mind that this one has been pulled. What I'm going to do is put it on here because occasionally, not all the time, I have been testing it out, putting foundation or even my concealer on the palm of my hand, and that's supposed to warm it up before I put it on my face. So we're going to do that because, you know, why not? I would like to look nice today. So we're just going to put that amount on and I'm going to brush it on. It is a very pale foundation, so we put that complexion cream on, which has a little bit of a glowy tint, and now we're going to get rid of it all, which is fine. I do like this foundation though, and I've not been wearing that much foundation these days. I've just been letting my skin breathe quite a lot, which has been quite nice, but I do think we need a little bit more than this because it has disappeared. So yeah, I was thinking up what kind of get ready with me could I do last night, and then I thought of this idea and I was like, well, I gotta be organized. I gotta add that all into tiny decisions. But yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with lips because I just could not bring myself to add in all my lip tints, all my lip glosses, and my lipsticks to tiny decisions. It's gonna take too long. So what we might do is I might have a wheel where like we pick between, are we gonna do lip gloss? Are we gonna do a lip tint? Or maybe I will just close my eyes and put my hand in and grab whatever. Maybe that's the easiest way to go. I think I might just do that because less effort. And I think by the time we do our lips today, we're gonna be pretty fed up. Well, I will be. I'll be like, when is this going to end? All right, let's do concealer. This one is gonna be a bit scary because I have some concealers that really just don't work for me. So let's have a look and see what we get. Oh, Technic Vitamin C. This is going to be a good day. This one works well for me. So it's this one right here. I actually had it in my Shop My Stash last month and I was raving about it because I really do enjoy this one. This one I am just going to put right underneath. I know I was like, I'm just going to warm it up, but this one I quite enjoy just popping it underneath. I'm going to say I like it, and then suddenly today it's probably going to look pretty bad. I'm just going to put a little bit on because we can always put on some later. All right, let's pick a powder. Again, this could go really wrong because some of my powders do not work in my under eye. So we will see. I'm going to pick one. Miss Den. Oh my gosh, this is going so well. This is in my current Shop My Stash, and this works really nicely in my under eye. You know what? This is going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. So this is Marbled. It's like a color correcting illuminator powder. I really have enjoyed it. It actually adds, if I go right in the center where it has the most sort of like my skin tone shade, it's actually pretty decent. I don't know if it really color corrects, but I have really enjoyed it. I like how thin it is. It's a very, very thin product, and that works pretty decently for me. Let's go with bronzer now. Let's see. Now I have liquid, cream, and powder in here, so it could go anyway. That's why I haven't powdered the rest of my face, because I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna get. Okay, so we got the same bronzer. This is a very cool tone bronzer. I was gonna say light, but I can build it up. It actually is part of their blusher range. It's a K-Beauty brand. And because when I did a haul for, I think I was looking at K-Beauty products last year, I could barely find any bronzers on Stylevana, and I saw this one. So I was like, well, I'll pick that one. That could work as a bronzer. It's almost like a contour shade for me, to be fair. It is a very cool tone, but thankfully I do not have a tan yet. So it's gonna be fine. I have to build it up. You can see I'm building and building and building. I had also put face palettes in that grouping, so when we look at blush and highlighter, I also have added face palette options too that either have a blush or a highlighter, or like full-on highlighter palettes, as well as liquids or creams or whatever. So we have some good options that could pop up, and we also have some really bad options that could pop up. But you know what? It's good to kind of know what's in your collection, and depending on what is picked, it's kind of fun to figure out how you're going to use it. So I think for the most part, I have a good understanding of my collection at this point. There maybe are a few products that I'm still kind of unsure on, like that primer. I have no idea what that does, but whatever. There's some other products too that I probably can't think of right now. And then obviously products that I really don't like, but we haven't picked anything that I really hate yet. So that's good. It could have gone really badly with the concealer and the powder. And so the fact that it hasn't, I think is going to be a good day. But you can see how much I'm building it up. But you can build it up. I just have to keep going back in, which is fine. It's definitely the coldest spring that we've ever had since we've moved here. I don't know what's happened. It's just so cold. All right, I'm on a roll. Let's see. Let's go with blush. And let's see. I have a lot of blush options. So, but honestly, I don't think I have that many blush in my collection I don't like. I mean, I can work with anything that I have. This is the Love blush. Okay, so this is a C Beauty product. It's this one right here. It's actually called Yes Love, but I just put love in the Tiny Decisions. But yeah, look at that. This is actually really pretty and quite shimmery. So this is going to be beautiful. This is going to be such a good look. I just know it. It's all going to come down to the eyeshadow, maybe potentially, because obviously we're going to do like a palette bingo with that one. So that could be challenging potentially, but you can see there's a little bit of shine to this. It's really pretty. So yeah, it's probably going to be the eyeshadow palette and maybe the look that destroys all of this. Or I'll do like the perfect spring look and it's all going to be randomized. And it's because I have good stuff in my collection that I can work with. Maybe that will be the point of this video. Who knows? We'll see. All right, so I've done a little bit. I don't want to do too much else. All right, so we got blush. Let's go into highlighters. This one, again, I have creams in here. I also have some face palettes and then actual palettes themselves. This is the frosting. Oh my gosh, okay. This is in my project pan. I'm like, it's picking all of my favorites. Okay, so this is from Cosmic Beauty. And I'm trying to hit pan in all three of these shades. Now, they're not the type that I would typically put on my face. I definitely use them more on my eyelets, but we're going to use one of these fan brushes. And I think I'm going to go into the middle one because we've used quite a peachy pink blush. And this is obviously more pink. So we'll go into this for a little bit of glow, more glow than we already had. Because let's be real, I don't feel like I really needed to have highlighter, but we could also incorporate this in our look if needed, which is really, really going to be helpful. Because if we get a palette that doesn't have like an inner corner, like a pop of something beautiful, we can absolutely use this. There's no rules to this. I just have to use what's picked, but I can use them how I want to use them. So yeah, pretty, right? I think this middle shade actually really works on the face. Okay, so what next? Should we do eyes? Let's do eyes. Okay. All right, I did notice, it was super weird, I don't know why, but it looked like Tiny Decisions had removed a lot of eyeshadow palettes from my options, so I had to like spend time adding all those in too. Okay, anyway, these are the eyeshadows. I've also added an option if it pulls my ColourPop singles or my other singles palette just to make it a little bit more fun. Urban Decay, my Pan Nut palette from last year. Are we serious? We're gonna go into the Urban Decay. Oh my gosh, I still have all my palettes in front of me from all the rankings that I've done. I still need to put them away. I'll probably do like a reorganization video at some point. I'm gonna go into the Beauty Bay eye base. I'm not gonna randomize this because that just, there's no need. I mean, I have a couple of other options, but let's just, let me just get away with maybe just using this and then being, that's okay, yeah, okay. All right, I can't believe we picked a palette that is the most used palette in my collection and already has so much use on it. A palette that I really enjoy. Like, what is today? What is today? What is going on? This is just going too well for me. Okay, I'm gonna go into this shade, which is Antidote. You know, I just rolled this out of my year-long usage project pan and now it's being picked for something. Maybe I should just continue that because a lot of you said I should keep doing it even if I didn't have too much use, and then a few of you were like, I should extend it to the rest of my collection, which I think I absolutely will do. I think I'm going to do a video next week just talking about all of, like, maybe grab all the palettes that have 25 uses on some of the shades, just so you can see which ones I've accomplished. There's definitely not that many, but maybe I will continue using this palette this year and maybe roll out the Norvina and just concentrate on finishing this one because this one would have the least amount of uses required of me to do that. You know, I do like this shade, I really do. I mean, I love this palette. It's one of my ultimate favorite palettes. It's just gotten old, so. Okay. This is just such a pretty spring look. I mean, I said it, right? This is just gonna be a nice little pleasant look. We're gonna go into Hexed, and I guess I'll expand the pan, which is always fun. Oh, I totally forgot. We were gonna do palette bingo. We're gonna do palette bingo with this. Okay, I'm so sorry. All right, let's, I might wipe this off. We're gonna do palette bingo. Okay, hold on. I totally lost my mind here. Okay, so in this palette, we have 11 eligible shades because obviously I don't have this shade anymore. So I'm going to do a number generator. I'm so sorry. I just went into it straight away without thinking. And now I regret my choices. Okay, so I've set the thing to 11. All right, so we're just going to hit the button. It went to 8. It's 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're definitely going to go into Ojo. So let me just swatch this. So this is the blue that I did not. It's the only shade that I haven't hit pan on. I would have liked to have hit pan on this one. So that's what that looks like. I've had to build it up a little bit, but okay. So we got 8. Let's do another one. I can't see. 11. So that's going to be the last one, which is the third eye. Maybe it will pick Antidote and we don't have to wipe this off. That would be ideal. Or you forgive me and we forget that I did that. Okay, so there's that one. We're gonna do 5 shades. I didn't mention that, but we're gonna do 5. And then the next one's gonna be 6. So that's gonna be Hexed. We were about to go into Hexed. So maybe this won't be so bad. So Hext is right there. All right, let's get one more. 4. 4 is going to be Vibes. It's this one right here. All right, there we go. That's a Vibes right there. Okay, last one is going to be 2. And 2 is going to be Opal Aura, which is this one right here, which is beautiful. Actually, this is kind of a cute little color story. So that's going to be our color story. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep what I have on my lids. I know I'm cheating. I'm just going to go into Hext. I was going to go into Hext anyway. It hasn't really changed our plan. And then obviously I'll use all these other shades that we have pulled. So let's just use this in the crease. I'll just try to go over that other shade as much as possible. And forget it never happened. This is fine. I mean, it's going to be a lot darker than I would have wanted for this look. I've done such a light summery base, and now we're going to have kind of a dark look with all those blues. Let me just grab a brush that doesn't have anything. I just want to blend this out a little bit more because it's a little too high for this color for my liking. I think that's okay. That's decent. I've kind of hidden the other shade, but it's still there. But we'll forget. We'll forget. All right, so how am I going to incorporate this blue? I'm going to use my NYX glitter glue for this. I want this shade to pop, so we're going to put it here. And I think it's going to be pretty, because it does have like flecks of pink. You can't always see it. I don't want it to be super dark, but it will be. But maybe we can go over it with the Opal Aura, because that's a really pretty blue. So yeah, okay, so we're gonna go in my fingers. This is the Ojo shade. You see some of that pink? Maybe not, but there is some pinky purpleness to it. I can't get away from blue. I swear, I thought, well, we're not gonna do a blue look today. And then what happens? We do a blue look. I feel like I'm doing blue looks every single day now. Okay. I don't know. What do we think? What do we think? I think it'll look pretty with the Opal Aura. Once I put that down, I'll blend out the edges of it. I mean, it is popping a little bit more because of that NYX glitter glue. Honestly, that saves so many shades. Okay, so I'm going to go into Opal Aura. And I'm going to put that here. Oh, look at that. See? This palette is old and it still packs a punch. Look at that. It still packs a punch. Urban Decay, what are you doing? Why don't you do this more often? Why have you never done this again? Why have you never released another palette like this? I don't understand you. What are you doing? Pretty. Okay. Yeah, very pretty. I've kind of gone over it a little bit too much on one side, but that's, yeah, let me just go back into this a little bit. I still want the blue. What do we think? I think that looks nice. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to put the Vibe shade on the other side and we'll see how that works. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really look that different or really add much, to be fair. I don't feel like that Vibe shade did really too much or made it look that different. But what we'll do, we have one more shade, which is Third Eye. I'm just going to use that as a little bit of a liner and to deepen out the outer part. And then I think we're done. I don't think I need to do too much else to this. I don't think I'm going to go underneath. All right, I am going to just go into my Essence Big Lash Mascara. I'm trying to finish this up. There's no need for me to randomize this either. I only have one other one that's open. It's brown. I'm just going to veto that, okay? We're just going to go in do this, and then let's try to figure out how we're gonna do the lips. All right, so there is a yes and no option on Tiny Decisions. So we're gonna ask if we're gonna need to use a lip liner, and then if we do, then I can randomize a lip liner potentially. So let's just go into our yes and no. So do we need a lip liner? What is it? No, we don't. Okay, that makes life easy. Is it gonna be a lip tint? What does it say? Yes? Yes, it's gonna be a lip tint. Okay, let's look at our lip tints. All right, so I have pretty much all my lip tints in here. Let me just count how many I have exactly, and then we'll just do a number generator. But how am I gonna know which number picks? No, that doesn't make any sense. What am I talking about? Okay. How am I gonna do this? I do not wanna spend time adding these all to Tiny Decisions. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have an idea. I have an idea. We're gonna do it by color, right? By color. So, is it gonna be a red? I kind of hope it is, because then it'll make life easier. It's gonna be a red. Okay, cool. All right, so let's pick all our reds. Okay, so I only have 3 reds. So now we're gonna do a number generator, and this is gonna be 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's just do it that way. I'm trying to do this the lazy way, right? So let me just change this to 3. Okay, and then if I click that, this is such a glare. 1. So I said this was number 1. Okay, so this one is the NYX. It's a soft matte, and it's the shade Antwerp. And it's one of these ones that it's red, but it can kind of look a little pinkish, but not pink. It's definitely like a red, but it's like a pinky red, but it's red. It's red. So let's do this. You can see what I mean though. It's quite pink. Anyway, whatever. I categorize as red. All right, there we have it. It's like a bright pink fuchsia, but whatever. We're going with it. This is the makeup look, and it's all random, pretty much. I'm actually loving this. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know what? I'm so like happy with the eyeshadow. I can't tell you that, you know, this is why I still like this palette, or I love this palette. And it was my palette last year. I got to know her so well. But even still, I never really did that many looks with the Ojo shade, which is that dark blue. And I could have done this look over and over again, and it works really, really nicely. I think the fact that we went red makes this look, even though it's not red. You know what I mean? This is definitely like a fuchsia pink. Okay, I think, yeah. And everything that we used for the base worked. I'm so pleased. I might do this again, because I honestly was expecting this video to be a disaster. And in a sense, that probably would have been a little bit more entertaining and more fun. But so the fact that we ended up with a look that is actually really fine, and I didn't use any products that I hate in my collection, you know, am I disappointed? I mean, I'm not disappointed because it looks so nice, but I'm disappointed it wasn't very entertaining, because we picked a bunch of stuff that I like. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you want me to do this again. Maybe next time it will be a huge disaster. It seems like the world wants to be nice to me today, so I'll take that as a sign that's going to be a good day. But yeah, oh, I'm loving this. I just kind of like, yeah, I want to show it off now. All right, well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be tomorrow. Bye.